If you're trying to decide between Apple AirPods and Apple AirPods Pro, in this video, I'm gonna help you make that decision. Is the Pro worth the extra charge? What do you get for that? Or are they basically the same product? In this video, we're gonna talk about the differences and why I highly recommend the Apple AirPod Pros. And I'm gonna tell you why in this video. First, let's start at the beginning. Before I ever had my first pair of Apple AirPods, I went through a few different alternatives. I was looking for something that would do the same thing but for less money. So I had Raycons. I actually had a couple pair of Raycons and I actually liked the way they fit in my ear, and I thought they were relatively decent. However, they just didn't last that long. The battery life would eventually degrade. The first pair of Raycons that I had eventually broke, and I gave it a second try, and those Raycons didn't last as well either. And then between my wife and I, we went through a few different kinds of cheap wireless alternatives, including Tozo and some others, and what we found was that they just didn't last like they really should, and we weren't getting much for the money that we saved. So I got my first pair of Apple AirPods, and these were actually sent to me by Kajabi, which is a software that I promote. So it was a perfect opportunity for me to try out the Apple AirPods because they were essentially free. A few things about these that are nice. One, the connectivity. When you have an iPhone, the connectivity is unmistakable. Between the AirPod Pro and the AirPods, both of them immediately connect to your phone with no issues at all. Beyond that, when you use your Apple AirPods and you also use a Mac, like for me, I have a Mac Mini, I have a MacBook Pro, I have my iPhone, and I can go seamlessly between all of those devices. It actually just detects that the Apple AirPods are nearby and will connect if I just say for them to connect. It's amazing. What I don't like about the standard AirPods is the fit. There's a couple of things that I don't love. One, when you put them in your ear, they're just not that comfortable. There's something about it that after a while, it just feels like you've got something in your ear that shouldn't be there. It's just cumbersome and it's big. The other thing is on the regular AirPods, the stems go down way too far. So it's just easy for it to get caught up on something, easy for it to hit stuff. I don't love them. I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they feel. In terms of connectivity, they're great. In terms of sound quality, they're fine, but it's just not my first choice once I discovered the AirPod Pros. A couple of things. Number one, the fit is 1,000 times better. When you put it in your ear, there's just no comparison between the Pro and the regulars. The Pros fit so much better, and they actually come with adjustable ear inserts so that you can make sure that you have the exact right fit for your ear, and that's pretty cool. The other thing is, when it comes to this, the stem comes in closer to your ear and it's much shorter. So when you compare the stem between the regular AirPods and the Pros are much smaller stem. And so you can easily have it in your ear. It hugs tightly to your ear. It doesn't stick down and it doesn't stick out as much. But all of those things are nice. But what makes the Pros so much better than the regular is the noise cancellation. I had no idea how significant this would be. But when you put these in your ears, when you put both of them in, the noise cancellation goes into effect, and it's almost as if all the noise just gets sucked out of the room. If you've never experienced it, you just have to experience it to know what I'm talking about. You put them both in and everything just kind of goes whoosh, and you don't hear anything except what is coming through your Pros. I use these, just these, nothing else, when I mow my lawn. And I have a big, powerful Honda lawnmower with a loud engine, and I can have these in my ears and play a podcast or an audiobook, and it plays amazingly well just with those Pros. And if you don't want the noise cancellation, it has a setting called transparency where you can hear what's going on in the Pros themselves, but you can also hear conversational noises so that someone can talk to you while you're listening to something if you want to do that. And then you can seamlessly switch back to noise cancellation. For those reasons, the extra money that you pay for the Pros is so worth it. If you're thinking about Apple AirPods, don't bother with the Apple AirPods. Honestly, aside from the connectivity and the battery life, there's probably better alternatives on the market, but you get all the connectivity and you get all the battery life with the Pros, but the fit and the feel and the noise cancellation feature far, far outweigh the regulars. So my overwhelming recommendation, if you're trying to decide between Pros and regular, go with the Pros. You will not be disappointed. It's truly, truly the way to go when it comes to Apple AirPods. Links are in the description for both if you want to check them out. Be sure to check out this playlist if you want to see more product reviews like this.